The opinions expressed in the following program are that of the host and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions of CWC Entertainment Group LLC, its affiliates, or any employee thereof.
Yeah. I might make a woman check a one. Canary Diamond, welcome to the Vincent radio show. They do it big, y'all. Great music, laughs, there's so much more. Hey, keep it here, y'all.
Keena, you want to lead some prayer right now?
Sure. Bow your heads and close your eyes, please. Dear Heavenly Father, Father God, we come to you saying thank you, Lord. Thank you for allowing us to wake up this morning and have traveling grace to make it to the studio safely, Father God. We just ask that you will continue to watch over us and lead us and guide us so that we can use our talents for your glory, Lord. We just ask that you will use this show to amplify and uplift someone that may not necessarily know you, but maybe this is an opportunity to show someone else that if they will persevere and live out their dreams and always stay focused on you, that all things can happen. Continue to watch over us as our days go in and out. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. But the fact that, like as you're doing that wonderful prayer, I couldn't help but notice in the background of hearing Bad and Bougie by Migos instrumental. I was like, oh Lord.
Jesus knows our hearts.
Right. I mean,
we've been trying to reset.
Jesus, yeah. Good and bougie? Good and not bougie? What's the equivalent? Good and glory.
He just wanted to remember, he wanted to remind me of my, my thought missionary.
Oh yeah, that's right. Spreading the word. So you either bad and bougie or good and glory. Good and glory.
There you go.
It's the remix. Syndicated, award-winning Syndicated. This is the VTRS District Radio Show. It's Vincent Heartbreak Tucker.
It's the Rewind, Myskenna.
It's your boy Yellostar. Wow, it's as if y'all only knew how much we went through today to put this entertaining program on for you.
Every one of us has had a trial and tribulation to deal with this week. So we just we thank you for still taking this ride with us, because we as much as you need us, we need you.
Sure do.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
yes,
and as Keena once said, though we can't prove it, the perseverance is the story of the VTRS.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, stick it out.
I'm sure Keena said that somewhere in the archive somewhere.
Yeah.
Or maybe today.
I feel like we said that in our heads a few times today.
Keena also said it verbally today, but unfortunately the audience didn't. It's a lot going on today.
You know what? We appreciate you for tuning in and being here with us as we speak this moment, because again, we couldn't do this without you guys, and we love you and we appreciate you, and hopefully you're at home laughing like ha 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 ha.
Keena, how's everything been with you?
Actually really good. The girls are doing so good right now. I'm like, I cannot complain. Celeste made cosmetology president. Deja,
wow.
I know Deja's out volunteering. Mesquite Day, when I filled out the form for her to do it, she's in this little junior police academy, so I was thinking it was just going to be like a small little group going out. And then when I dropped her off, I was like, oh my God, this is like a huge event, because it was like literally the parking lot at Town East Mall is full of volunteers, and what they do is they find like widows or elderly people in Mesquite, and they go and they do little things for them that they can't do around their house. It could be stuff like cleaning the yard or cleaning their windows, mowing their hedges, whatever their needs are, they fulfill them. So I was like, oh wow, this is bigger than I thought. At least I know where my tax dollars are going. So shout out to the city of Mesquite for doing a great thing. So that's my week.
That's a good way to see your tax dollars be spent and feel like they're actually getting some value.
Seriously, so
Deja's been doing the junior police academy thing for a while, right?
Yes, she has for about 2 years now. Well, the Explorers program, she just got involved with it this past summer, And but she had been going, the way she got involved with the Explorers, which is like the junior police academy, is because she started out with just a little camp that they do, and then that crossed over to then they nominated her to go ahead and do the Explorers program. I mean, like, literally, when I say junior police academy, they have to take a test to learn all the different codes, and once she passed that, then she gets to do ride-alongs with the police officers and things like that. And if she continues on with it, then they give her a scholarship. So, like, yeah, learning how to lock and load a gun, how to clean it, how to shoot it. They have to shoot in distress, like, so they have to, like, do exercises and then go shoot. If they don't hit their target, then they have to run. Like, I mean, it's the real deal. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
So let's talk. She always seems a little distressed. She always seems a little distressed.
Celeste?
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
Oh, I'm like, oh my God, I hope she never had to.
No. Cause she's always, I mean, every time she's always, you know how much she teases me, and like, she always got something to say. I'm like, girl, go sit out somewhere.
Right, but this is Deja we're talking about.
Oh, we're talking about Deja.
Yeah.
Oh.
Celeste, you got confused because Celeste is cosmetology president.
That's right, that's what that is. Yeah.
So I was thinking the other day too, we were going through some pictures. I was like, do you even remember when Yellostar had hair? She was like, I know. Well, if he ever needs a haircut, I can cut it bald for him.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. I will have to find out where I can go and get that. Yeah.
So she does still give you a hard time. Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah. Not surprised at all.
Vincent, do you remember when Yellow had hair?
Yeah. Yeah. I think.
And then
we've been doing the show for 10 years.
And then when he started cutting his hair bald, we was like, really, the bald head? And now I can't see you with hair.
That's true as well.
How you doing?
Well, other than being without hair, I was actually looking at, an old picture, I can't remember if it was an ID or something, where I still had hair, and I was like, I remember what that was like, going to the barbershop on a regular basis to get my waves rolling, get my stuff lined up right. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. We ain't worried about no lines right now.
You living your best life.
Hey, that's the one I got. That's the one I got.
Best hair life. Hey, Vincent ain't too far behind you.
You a lie?
First of all, you a lie. First of all, don't say it like that. Second of all,
that too. Yeah, don't say it like that either.
Right. But aside from that, I've been good. The family's been good. Spent some time with my dad, and he's been doing okay. We had a nice long talk last night, and things have been good. So I'm getting ready to go down there and see them soon, and spend some time, about a week or so. But yeah, other than that, everybody's been good. Me and my cousins are getting together and having like a cousins weekend to come hang out, because the family's been going through so much. We just like, let's get together for a reason other than a sad one. Yeah. So we're gonna go to Houston and just hang out and try to spend some quality time with each other. So looking forward to that. But that's about it with your boy.
Vincent, you been okay?
Yeah, I've been good. Just staying out of trouble.
That's good.
Just working, trying to stay focused.
Can a sister hold $1?
You got all the money.
What?
You got the.
I don't know who lied to you about that.
You got the big house.
Big house. Multi-level.
Yeah.
Y'all stupid.
You bought out of control, right?
No.
Oh, she's in the foyer.
Speaking of having all the money, or not having money, depending on how bad this segue is, I saw something very interesting on the way to the studio today. The state of Michigan, apparently they tired of giving out food stamps to individuals who are able to work, and they want to switch things up. So if a resident wants to keep their benefits, apparently they have to get out there behind and go get a job. According to Fox News, each individual between the age of 18 to 49 and considered able-bodied has 3 months to find a job before losing his or her benefits. those affected will need to go to job training, volunteer, or work 20 hours a week each month in order to obtain the benefits. The policy is now in full effect. The state officials want people to get out and learn the necessary skills so they can get out of the system and be able to support themselves. And I just wanted to know, how did y'all feel about Michigan forcing people on food stamps start getting a job to keep them?
Those that are young enough to do it, and if they're just in a certain situation, I can understand them wanting to, encourage people to do better, because I do feel like it's necessary to get out of the system. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, some people literally really need that help. And so I can see it both ways, just because there was a time where I did. I never qualified. Not because I just had that much money for whatever reason. I just never qualified. So I did have to work that much harder. But I do remember, I was like, man, it's crazy. You work extra hard to stay out of the system, and when you really need help, you can't get it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I know several people that typically milk the system, mm-hmm. and really can go get a job, mm-hmm. and really can stop having babies so they can stop getting extra food stamps. Because unfortunately, I do know some of those people, and I'm like, yeah, but I think for those that need the help, like the elderly, those that literally can't, I don't think that's fair for them to cut them off.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the tough part about entitlement programs like that, is because there are genuine people who need them, and, for whether it's they need, an extra $30 in groceries this week, or, they need whatever it is that they need it for, because they have other bills, because they have, children or mouths that they got to feed, whether it's parents or kids. I think it's important to have those out there, but I mean, you can't go from giving these entitlement programs to just assuming that people are lazy and they don't want to work, because there are people who would if they could, but they're not able to. So I definitely think there's a fine line, and maybe this is just part of it, what they'll do. Hopefully it's effective and it cuts out some of the wrong people getting it, and helps some of the right people get it. But I just hope that they don't think this is a permanent solution. Like, that's the thing with policies and government like that, is you have to change as the times change, mm-hmm. and adjust. You can't just, like, if you learn that there's a gap in your policy, you have to go make an adjustment to fix that. So. Yeah. Well,
selfishly, I kind of hope this doesn't, hit Texas. I know it's in Michigan now, but hopefully it doesn't come to Texas, because, I've known to frequent family members in the projects, and maybe have, bought some food stamps 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all know.
And in fact,
everybody in here has bought a 2 for 1 food stamp.
And in fact, anybody out there in the Dallas Metroplex, before we all get cut off, holla at your girl.
Right.
I mean, let me help you.
Sure.
I'm gonna help you learn a trade, and right. We on trade. I'm gonna learn.
Trade is learning how to trade. Mm-hmm. Learning a trade,
yes,
is a good way to
trade,
better yourself.
As we just learned to get ourselves convicted by the state of Texas.
I'm gonna cop this stuff on air, guys. We talked about this.
Hey, keep it locked. Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish will be on the program talking about the #1 movie in the country, Night School. Y'all know what it is. Syndicated award-winning. This is the VTRS.
Playing today's best music.
Put it on mine, 'cause it's jealousy. They don't know about us.
Come through rockin' fashions that got Wally. Like, yo, what's that? I don't want no friend. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me, 'cause I want you.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. Have you checked out iHeartRadio's free playlist yet? Not only do we have one perfect for any moment, we also created playlists perfect for any decade. Flashback to the 80s, 90s, or stay right here in 2018. Plus, we're talking pop, rock, hip-hop, and we'll even break it down by the year. Hello, 1999. Yo, can I get a what? There are thousands of iHeartRadio playlists. Find the ones perfect for you. Trust us, there's a free playlist for that. Try it now. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
I have a homegirl. She said she's dating a guy.
said the guy who uses the wrong size condom says she doesn't know how to tell him.
What? Because they're too small.
No, they are not. He says he likes to wear magnums, but he's not a magnum. So the condom is mad baggy and it doesn't fit.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That's the worst, because that's how they come off inside of you.
Tina, how have you handled this situation?
Yeah, exactly.
I would buy the condoms.
She got serious? No, she said that. She saw a look on her face. I asked her, why don't you just tell him? She was like, because I'm afraid it'll be a blow to his ego.
Can we have a moment of silence for this man's ego?
If it's handled properly, then it could be done. It won't be. Because most men are willing to do whatever it takes to please the woman, right? Mm-hmm. So if she buys the condom and she goes above and beyond, be like, oh, I like this one.
I like this one better.
Yeah. Right. Then he's more apt.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Versus, it's the wrong size. Cause then his ego is not bruised. It's more about, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get these cause I want to please her. Cause this is she's most comfortable. Versus, I'm getting the wrong size. Cause either way it goes, she's still gonna be more comfortable.
How does she know how loose it is?
Well, you can feel the difference.
I mean, but like,
it's like being with somebody that's uncircumcised.
You can feel the difference.
Yeah, she said something to the fact that, like, in the middle of it, she feels feeling the condom falling off. I know I'm gonna talk over you.
Yeah.
She said she feels the condom falling off and it just didn't feel right.
And that's a safety issue.
It is a safety issue.
Yeah.
What's the point of wearing it if it's gonna come off?
Right. So,
especially if he's uncircumcised.
So, I was,
all that smegma.
So I guess I wasn't really, somebody made this a word to me, because there was another, dude in the conversation was listening. I didn't know there was a gold, like, listen, I don't have any problems fitting the gold wrapper, so I don't have this issue. But.
You had to just put that out there?
Yeah, I had to. But apparently there's something about, like, the gold wrapper puts a battery in your back.
I don't know why. That's in fact, they say the worst condom to actually
It's a placebo effect.
Like, I mean, I think they put like this is like the gold standard.
Right, exactly.
It's like when you put the gold wrapper on the condom, it's kind of like this is the condom to have.
Now, one of my other homegirls was in the conversation. She kind of said something with your effect. She said something about, like, I guess they make other condoms in gold wrappers. So she said she should just buy a box of those condoms, put them in into a Magnum box.
Wow. Because it usually is dark.
Right, exactly.
And all he's looking for is the gold.
Right.
I just say explore more options. I say you make him aware of it by exploring a different type of condom, because magnums aren't always the most comfortable, whether you can fit them or not. You know, sometimes depending on the guy, you need a different, every guy is different.
How long have they been together?
It's been at least 3 years.
It's 3 years?
That's a long time.
Why are they still wearing condoms?
Wait, what? She don't want to get pregnant. He ain't committed.
Well, who in this room has been in a relationship for longer than 3 years and after 3 years was still using the condoms?
Keep going, Yellostar.
I have my hand raised. For those, just know that my hand is raised, ladies.
For what for, we don't know, but...
well, I guess because I haven't been in a 3-year relationship.
What a spin!
That's
Read
good.
to the lines.
I like that.
Read to the lines.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
You can always do anything and have it come off in a better way than you say it to your friends. Like
literally.
The way she talked to us, or the way she sent that message to you, is the way she said it to her friends. Like, girl, he needs to stop using that condom because it don't work. But you don't go to him like that. You go to him with, baby, let's try something different, you know?
And if you do get the fire and ice condom, just make sure he doesn't put it on inside out, because
Like, should that be?
had an experience. It's not fun.
Oh. Preach.
I'm assuming the inside is ice and the outside will be fire. But if you do reverse, oh yeah, that made me hurt.
It's a traumatic experience.
Have y'all ever had a girl put the condom on you? Is that a rare thing? I mean, the expectation is not for her to put it on.
No.
So like she probably, but do you think this girl has put it on him and like she saw the bagginess? Like it looked like a banana going in a Walmart bag?
But if she was that on correctly.
She should.
Try to drop a AA battery in a balloon.
Right.
What?
Only on the Vincent Tucker Show.
Yeah.
Weezy out of here.
The dash of digital schedule.
Now it's time for the good.
2 Chainz has partnered up with Street Execs Management, and they are making sure that everyone in ATL has a really different trapped out Halloween. What they are doing is they are putting on a pink haunted trap house. The first phase of the haunted house will feature a traditional haunted house experience with an urban legend twist. The second phase will allow guests to have the opportunity to fight killer zombies with custom artillery. And in the final phase, guests will be blindfolded so that they will be forced to depend on sound and touch to navigate themselves through the room that is set up like a maze. So the haunted house will also feature scenes from iconic urban films from the 80s and the 90s. So if you're in ATL and you're looking for something to do between now and November 11th, go check out 2 Chainz Pink Trapped Haunted House.
You said it will feature scenes from iconic 90s, 80s, 90s urban films?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I hate when people say urban instead of black, but
Right. Just say what you mean.
But I don't know why when you said that, like the first thing that came to mind, I was like, oh shoot, you walk through New Jack City? Or Menace to Society, or?
No, I'm thinking more so. Remember when, was it Snoop Dogg did that vampire movie?
Oh,
Vampire.
Bones in Brooklyn? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Something, that's what came to my mind when I read it. Cause that's kinda Halloween-ish.
I hate the movie. BT played it every Friday. What was that for 2 years?
Wasn't there another one?
That and Baby Boy. And Holiday Heart. They used to play all 3 movies.
Yeah.
They got a bigger catalog now.
I've never seen a black scary movie that I was like, oh, this is good.
Tales from the Hood?
Come on.
What was it?
Yeah, Tales from the Hood.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, I guess Meet the Blacks is before the 80s and 90s. That's a version of The Purge.
The Purge was good.
We grew up in the hood. We were in the
Yeah. It's a horror movie in itself. Yeah.
Now it's time for the bad.
50 Cent and Rick Ross. Well, as we know, there was in 2015, 50 Cent sued Rick Ross for rapping over his In the Club.
Petty.
Yeah, on his mixtape Renzel remixes. But the judge ruled against 50 Cent because apparently Shady Aftermath Records own the copyright and masters for the recordings, not 50 Cent. So therefore, basically,
he knew that when he filed.
I'm sure, but that was just like a countersuit to Rick Ross's baby mama suing him for the sex tape he put out. So yeah, I guess Rick Ross got a win, and so we can only imagine. I'm sure 50 Cent is gonna find something else to go after Rick Ross for, because he's, like you say, he's just petty.
Well, he don't. That's the one. That's the one thing about 50 that I don't love about him, but I respect is he's just gonna keep coming at you until either he loses completely or until he gets you.
Pretty much.
He's persistent.
And if you're in the Florida area, you might want to look up your local Wingstop because to see if it's one that Rick Ross owns, because he was saying, you know what, legal judgment my way, Wingstop on me today. Hashtag boss. That was my Rick Ross.
Get your wings.
Impression.
Hashtag what?
Boss.
Close enough.
Rosie. Okay.
It's time for the ugly.
The stars of VH1 reality show Black Ink are accused of being posers and nymphos who had no business doing business in a rental house, claims the landlord who is suing them. Hassan Abedahai is suing Sky and Caesar and Viacom, claiming that Sky broke her lease by filming scenes at the ATL crib. In documents obtained from courts, Hassan, the landlord, claims that the lease specifically says that the rental house was for residential purposes only, and that Sky was only allowed to stay there under the terms of the lease, and screwed up by allowing Caesar to stay there. And apparently, since they were filming scenes from the show, Black Ink tend to have a lot of parties and different things. Hassan also said that they messed up the house, so he's suing them for damages. And so we'll have to see how that goes. I'm sure VH1 Viacom will probably settle that one outside of court, but just for the record, I think that's the second lawsuit against Caesar within 2 months. So we'll have to see how, as Caesar builds his empire.
That sucks for them, but I know there's nothing ugly about Sky. I love Sky. Whew.
Do you?
Yes, I love her.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Sky?
I just think she
oh boy.
We should just I think we're done.
That's Myskenna. That's the thing that I had in the opening.
The express views thoughts express not the views.
Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish coming up. Y'all keep it locked.
Playing today's best music. Playing today's best music.
It's a rolling, not a stopwatch. Don't ever stop.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. iHeartRadio does something no other app or website can do. Thousands of live radio stations you can take anywhere. Want to listen to that station in Denver when you're in Philly? No problem. In Atlanta and you miss LA? No problem. Plus, iHeartRadio lets you create your own custom artist station. DJ Khaled, and this is iHeartRadio. Just type in the artist you love and iHeartRadio creates a station just for you. With their biggest hits, all commercial free. Free radio and unlimited music all in one app. iHeartRadio.
Ain't nobody got time for that. So check this out.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Yellostar, and I have got some Florida news for you.
This week in Florida?
This week in Florida. You know how, as young people, we were always very literal with things that we learned, like, Mama said, don't do this. Well, I didn't do that. I did this. This is not the exact same as that. Peru Patel learned that. He's a Florida gas station owner who had to place a sign in his store asking customers not to microwave urine in the microwave.
What?
Yeah. He said he's sick and tired of people walking into his gas station and on the fly convenience store in Jacksonville, and they bring containers of urine. The problem is the store is within walking distance of 2 different labs. So people are going there to test, and they need it warm. I can only imagine for what reason. But
pass that drug test,
right? But here's the crazy part. One of the labs say they don't even collect urine samples for drug tests.
So what the hell are they doing?
I mean, I'm sure the other one is probably doing it,
okay.
But they're probably doing something for the state or something.
That's crazy.
But he says people walk in on the street, microwave their urine containers, then leave. Warming urine from someone who hasn't taken drugs is seen in some ways as, a way to pass a drug test, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But Patel says a woman became aggressive a few months ago when he asked her not to warm the urine, and she asked to see a sign that says, I can't warm urine in the microwave.
Oh.
So he made one.
Technically. Okay.
I ain't mad at him.
I'm not mad at him at all.
Like, you're a smart ass.
I'm not mad at her either because...
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If you're being petty...
Right, that's true. That's true.
Look, I need this urine warm.
So...
Yeah, it has to be body temperature, it has to be like 98 degrees, and a lot of times people put it in a condom, and then that's how they poke a hole in it, and they just kind of...
all over you.
And that's how it looks like it's coming. Or some of those guys have those fake, I only noticed because my best friend is a phlebotomist, and so she often have to,
Like she get the flu a lot?
No, phlebotomists, they get the fluids out of your body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
are you making this word up?
No, it's
phlebotomist?
A phlebotomist, yeah, that's a trade.
Why is it she could say words like that?
Note to all those people in Michigan that getting off of welfare.
Yeah.
That could be a great opportunity for them.
It could be a great opportunity. Try saying that word 10 times fast, right?
Phlebotomist.
That's 7 more times.
My best friend is that, so I can say it. I've been saying it for several years. Phlebotomist. Hey.
That sounds like you said wireless at the end. Yeah. Wireless.
All right, y'all. That's This Week in Stupid.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about how the Senate, voted Kavanaugh in This Week in Stupid.
We should have. I mean, we're going to do it next. Yeah, we'll talk about it. This is going to be This Week in Stupid Part 2.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody got time for that. So check this out.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, it's not a mistake that you heard that drop twice.
That's right. We're back with This Week in Stupid. This time, it's the president's nominee to the highest court in the land, Brett Kavanaugh.
Making America great again.
This whole process, it has absolutely nothing to do with the doctor who's come out against him, with any of the other 40 people that the FBI did not interview for their investigation. It has nothing to do with that. This dude is being pushed through because they want to make sure that if it comes down to Trump getting indicted because of the Mueller probe, that this is the judge who's going to get on the court and say, no, you can't indict a sitting president. That's it. It has nothing to do with anyone else who's had any complaints. Christine Blasey Ford, a doctor with a well-educated background, with the other 2 women who have come out since then, with all the people who have corroborated, his activity when he was in college and in high school. There's nothing to do with any of that. This is just so Trump can have somebody in the court that's his and make sure that he doesn't get indicted if it all comes out.
Make America great again.
So we had an FBI investigation where they said they didn't find any corroborating witnesses to the allegations against Kavanaugh.
Because they interviewed 10 out of 50 people.
Right. Which goes to the point of the Democrats saying that the FBI didn't look hard enough or try hard enough to get dirt.
This is the same FBI that, was bugging Trump and listening to his phone calls and stuff. And the bad thing about it is, I hate to say it this way, but unfortunately, he's young enough to be on the court for a long time. So even if the midterms swap everything around, because that's the only reason why the Republicans are pushing so much. They're pushing so much because they're afraid that they're going to lose their majority. So they have to push him through before the midterms.
Pretty much.
It's interesting. So if Brett Kavanaugh was an entertainer, entertainment field, and these sexual allegations came out against him, his career would be on pause. Like so many people it is now.
Yep.
But I guess if you have allegations against you and you're a politician, you either become president or Supreme Court justice, huh?
Right. The 2 of the most powerful positions literally in the government, like both of them are almost like there's not a whole lot of checks for people who are judges. You have different branches, but that's kind of like a lot of power to give one person, and it never goes away.
Why does your career stop if you're an entertainer, but you can be president and Supreme Court justice?
Well, because it doesn't matter as long as my party gets somebody into that position.
And not only that, with all these high-profile men that are going through this whole Me Too moment, this is a great opportunity for Kavanaugh, because he just went through that, on the other side of it. And so this is also another great opportunity to get a lot of those guys off because, they're all buddies.
Yeah, I doubt it.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Watch and see.
Bill Cosby in jail pissed.
Bill Cosby ain't the right color.
Harvey Weinstein, you don't think they finna get Harvey Weinstein?
No.
Watch this.
No.
Well, mark this recording. Harvey Weinstein, and many white women, is he pissed off? Nah, he ain't.
I mean, I don't think he'll ever work in the business again, but I don't feel like he will do. I don't think he's going to get 3 years.
It's going to get swept under the rug.
Sorry. Well, here's the difference between him and Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby went in court in a deposition and said, "I did this." Well, Harvey Weinstein did not say that. Just say he say, she say. So I don't think he gets off because of his color. I just think he gets off because it's hard to convict him and sentence him when you don't have any more than just word of mouth. Yeah, but all the white women will make sure he don't work in Hollywood again.
Exactly. Now, I agree with that, but he has enough money to pay off the right people, to be on the right, to make sure he has the right people on the jury, to make sure that the right person that's prosecuting slides that envelope to that judge and make sure that, you know, he's all right. That he goes off to another little remote island and disappears forever.
He gonna have him a little one in the cage, just like R. Kelly. I don't know.
I'm sure about that, but you know, they're all buddies. They all stick together.
I don't even think they have to do that. This is not gonna be popular amongst the Me Too community, but as I just mentioned, the actual evidence against Harvey Weinstein, from what I've seen so far, kind of shaky. It just sounds like a big he say, she say. Yeah. So they might not even have to worry about paying off a judge. I don't know if the prosecutor's gonna be able to really sell that story. It should be interesting. We'll find out.
Well,
if you're a defense attorney, you're trying to keep as many middle-aged white women off the jury as possible.
And the hard part for you is there's not going to be a whole lot of people that haven't already heard enough evidence or heard enough rumors about the story to get somebody that can be impartial about it, because most people have already heard about it.
If he gets a jury full of middle-aged white women, he's done. Yeah.
But, interesting.
But they get...
It'd be interesting to see if Matt Lauer gets it next, though.
And if you're a prosecutor, it's easier to judge. It's easier to put together Matt Lauer's...
It is. Yeah.
Then Harvey Weinstein.
There's hard evidence.
Yeah.
So his is more so in line with Bill Cosby versus...
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Kevin, I know he was drinking that water when he was... when they had him.
When you yelling at people like that, you get thirsty. You know?
Is that what happened?
I understand.
He was nervous.
He was yelling at people.
I can't judge no man for yelling in a meeting.
Yeah. Yep. Behind the scenes.
Well, you brought that one up.
I know, right? Freaking stupid part 2. Yeah, right? He say, she say, and then Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish talk about the #1 movie in the country, Night School. Keep it locked. This is the VTRS.
Playing today's best music.
How you want the poop? You can't say your S's and shit. I'm just playing. But I still wake up to miss calls from your head. My line no more. You don't make it ring.
I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show. Free iHeartRadio playlists are here, and the critics are raving. John in Nashville says,
"Whoa, 80s playlists? Even new wave? This is huge."
Izzy906 on Reddit says,
iHeart's got all these playlists from the 50s to now, and I'm like totally the only one who knows about them.
not anymore. iHeartRadio's free playlists. Want 70s funk? There's a playlist for that. Try it now. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
So I had a friend, she's been with this guy for about 5 years, and they've been on and off. She said that every time that they've broken up, it was because he always gives her some type of lame excuse. So she wanted me to ask you guys,
sure,
if a guy is giving you a lame excuse over and over and over again.
Lame excuses for what?
For breaking up.
Oh, okay. Like he don't like the way you mix Kool-Aid or something? Like stuff like that?
She didn't say that.
He likes the way she makes Kool-Aid.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, for instance, this is one that she told me. Seriously.
Okay.
So she says that he never does anything for him. But he doesn't have a job, and like he lives in a hotel, and she's always paying like the little hotel fees or whatever. So they're together when he needs her, but when he doesn't need her, he disappears. And then he comes back and he's like, oh, well, it's kind of like that type of back and forth.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to quote Steve Harvey too often, but Steve Harvey said, don't make a man tell you more than once that he don't want to be with you. So, I mean, I don't know if that's just his daytime talk personality or what he say then, but I mean, I think he's kind of right,
First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good take on it.
But I mean, it depends. Like, I think there are different situations that, you can go through in a relationship, and not every one of them is the same, but what you have to determine is if there's a underlying issue, if there's a core pattern that is related to all those issues. Because if there is a core pattern, then you kind of have your answer at that point.
I think I know what it is. She says that it always comes up when they talk about marriage, or when they talk about what they're going to do in the future or long term.
I don't understand why women do that.
Well, how long?
Wait, what do you mean you don't understand why women do that?
5 years?
Yeah.
He doesn't want a future. Or he's not thinking about the future. He's thinking about now. I know women like to think about the future,
right,
all the time from day one.
But let's get right now.
So most men, it bothers y'all when women wants to think about the future?
I mean, there's so many things that can happen between now and the future
that you dreamt up.
Right. Like, right now I have 2 arms and 2 legs. I might not have those tomorrow.
Well, let's knock on,
let's knock on wood for that. But my point is, like, you can try to make plans for your future, but you can't just expect it like this is the way it's going to be. Like, you have to take it as it comes. So it's better to live now, try to have a future, but I mean, I think there's only so far you can go with that. Like, once you start talking 5-10 years, like, we got to deal with stuff today, I'm more concerned about today than tomorrow. That's just y'all stuff.
That's funny that you said that, because she did say that was one of the excuses that he used to break up with her.
Well, I don't know if that's a reason to break up.
Yeah, right.
But that is one of the things that she said. He said that he was afraid that he may not be able to satisfy her when he get old.
She probably scared for that too, but it don't mean you should break up. Right. I know my rule, with anyone I'm dating, like, if quitting is an option or becomes an option, then that is the option, and it's just time to move on and do other things. I don't like to do the back and forth, especially now that I'm 35. I'm tired. I ain't got time. If you want to leave, just leave.
Make it easier on both of us.
Yeah, exactly. We're not gonna use back and forth.
Play the game.
We're not picking. You gotta pick what side of it. That's what it is. You gotta pick what side of the fence you're gonna be on. Right. Either we in this or you're not. But you're not gonna just jump back and forth when it's convenient for you.
So could it be that maybe sometimes he puts those situations out there to see where her heart is, to see if she really just wants to be with him?
Okay, but how many times they gotta have this scenario?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
the script of the movie ain't changing. It's the same movie.
I get it.
At some point, you gotta figure out the difference between turning the page and closing the book. Well said.
Vincent Tucker.
Hashtag True Penny.
Vincent Tucker. Yeah. Dropping that knowledge.
Well, we definitely want to hear from you. If you, ladies, if you're in a situation where you don't, obviously, per Yellostar, if you're thinking about the future, stop. Thinking about the future.
It's not stop thinking about the future.
That's not what he said.
It's not stop thinking about the future.
No, pull a Vincent, ask and tell her to quote what you said.
Yeah, tell me what I really said. You trying to boil it down to the smaller, but you taking the meaning away.
That's like a woman, ain't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
I ain't need y'all to say that with so much emphasis.
I got some stuff going on in my life.
It makes both of us. Tell me what I said, not what you heard.
Hi, it's your girl, Myskenna, wrapping up today's He Say, She Say.
Up next, the #1 movie in the country, Night School, featuring Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. They're both on the VTRS. Keep it locked.
That's on me, baby. That's
That's on me, baby. Yeah, baby.
You're listening to the Vincent Tucker Radio Show.
So teach, what are the test results?
Teddy, you, my friend, are dyslexic. You also have dyscalculia.
That's what I got.
We're not done. You also have a processing disorder.
I got a touch of prostate cancer. She didn't touch my ass one time.
Boy.
So why is night school the perfect place to do a comedy?
Because it's the perfect setting to involve an audience in a way where they can not only relate, but they can understand. And they can take away a nice, valuable message from it. You know, you're dealing with people that are embracing the opportunity of a second chance. And we're doing it in a way where you can laugh and cry and also go, you know what? It makes me feel like the things that I didn't do, I can go and do.
And also it's a great setting because it's so many different types of characters. It's a great place to have someone who's a house mom, someone who's a dad, someone who's the jock, the lazy dude, the creative. You know, it's a lovely place to have a lot of different personalities.
This woman is a brick wall.
You either pass the midterm or you're out of my class.
So Tiffany, it seems like your character, Carrie, who's the teacher in night school, had a pretty good hold on Kevin Hart's character, Teddy Walker, you know, from the beginning. You know, how was Carrie able to keep Teddy in check?
Well, she doesn't tolerate no shenanigans. Okay, we don't play this over here. You're not gonna use me and abuse me. And if you come to deal with Carrie, you come in to learn something. Otherwise, don't waste my time.
Yeah, no BS with Carrie, and that's tough for Teddy because, you know, Teddy's always been a guy whose charm has been able to put him in positions to succeed. You know, he's had the gift of gab, and for the first time in his life, that's not going to work. It's not going to cut it. He's actually going to have to do the work, which is something that he's familiar with, but not to this extent. So it's a great balance. It's a great balance of characters. It's a great tug of war, and eventually the person that ends up yanking the rope is the person that needs to, because she gets the attention of not just me but the other classmates, and makes us realize that we should all meet our fullest potential.
Welcome to night school. We need to cram 4 years of high school into a semester.
Study group, study group, study group.
Yes. I think his mama breastfed him beer.
I imagine in between the both of you, there were laughs aplenty. Were there any particular scenes that you could share that were hard for y'all to finish because y'all were too busy cracking each other up?
You whooping me.
That was a
I farted. whooped the fart out me in that scene. That was it was like it happened and she stopped. Did you just fart? Yeah, you whooped it out of me just
but
now.
then I farted on you.
You did one too.
Yeah.
That was another one too.
Yeah, another thing.
It's a gassy shoe.
Yeah, we both was passing.
Very, very comfortable.
And I was having a problem saying Pythagorean theorem.
Yes, you still having a problem with it.
Pythagorean theorem. No, I'm saying it.
No.
Pythagorean theorem.
No, that's still not it. That's still not it.
You say it.
Pythagorean. Now you're making me mess up. Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean. First off, you're not even saying the whole damn word. You confused me. I thought I had it.
Pythagorean theorem.
That's it, Pythagorean.
Why would you? No, Carrie, hey, I'm gonna do the work. You'll see. We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Great. Superb. Excellent. Good. Mm-hmm.
Hey, in closing, and I'm not really sure why I'm being asked to ask you this, Kevin. So here we go. Kevin, what was your most embarrassing moment in high school?
I'd say probably the day that I graduated the top of my class. It was just embarrassing, not for me, but for the other students, because they realized that I was the smartest kid in school.
You're a damn lie.
2 part hydrogen, 1 part oxygen.
You got it right, Teddy.
What's that smell?
No, that's the gas.
Oh, you bust ass in my face? It's in my mouth. You got my lips all checked.
Night School, starring Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, Rob Riggle, Romani Mako, Keith Davis, and Taryn Killam. Produced by Will Packer and Kevin Hart and directed by Malcolm D. Lee, is in theaters now.
Life can bring much pain.
Syndicated, award-winning Syndicated. This is the VTRS Vincent Radio Show. Vincent, Heartbreak, Tucker, Myskenna, and Yellostar holding it down for Remon Charity E as we get ready to get up out of here.
We got that old thing back.
This was a throwback. The triumphant.
Yeah.
Us three. Shout out to Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, #1 movie in the country, Night School. Go see it. Very hilarious movie. Appreciate them. I think this is Kevin Hart's 4th appearance on the program. One time for Tiffany Haddish.
One of many.
Yes, definitely. Who had a better glow up in 2017 than 2018 than Tiffany Haddish?
I don't think anybody. I mean, she had a good come up this year and last year, really, with Girls Trip.
And she got a bunch of movies coming up, too.
Yeah.
Monique.
Huh? What about Monique?
Petty Tina. She's so petty.
I was speaking of Monique. I think Tiffany Haddish got a Netflix deal, too. So, yeah, she got Netflix.
She's so petty.
Netflix coming, too.
I love it, though.
What do you think about Cat Williams' comments about, like, I guess he didn't like the way Tiffany Haddish is being hurled as the queen of comedy. Like, who said, I guess it must be the new the little kids now saying she might be the queen. Because I'm like, no one of age is saying Tiffany Haddish is the queen of comedy.
No, I mean, I think she's doing some good stuff right now, but the problem with blowing up like she is right now, and, you know, a lot of people have gotten better about this as they've learned more, but, you know, you have to keep managing what you do, but you have to keep putting out good material, because once you start, you know, once the second thing is not as good as the last thing, or the third or fourth is not as good as the last one, like, that's when your career starts to fall off. So, you know, you gotta be careful about that and make sure you're working hard, like, you know, keep doing your grind so you can keep putting out the good stuff that the people want to see.
And like we started the show, it's about perseverance. There are a lot of people who fail to realize, because we're in this microwave society and everybody is social media stars, and so they forget that you really literally have to work hard for years before you get there.
Father, shout outs, comments, Kina.
Well, shout outs to all the Libras out there that are having birthday, Remon and Charity, which they are Libras. I guess you know y'all love to party, so hope that y'all are enjoying your time off. Thank you to our syndicated partners, all those that are out there listening to us each and every week. Celeste and Deja, of course, you know your mommy loves you. Mr. Everything. Yeah, shout out to you too. And it's your girl, Myskenna. I'm out.
Shout out to everybody out there listening in the sound of my voice. Shout out to my girl's dad. He just had surgery, and he's recovering now. So what's up? Glad to hear about that. And just shout out to my friends and family. Like, if I call you a friend or if I call you my family, that means I love you, and I appreciate you even if I don't say it every day. So that's your boy Yellostar.
Do we qualify for that?
No, I work with y'all.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Random Uber facts.
You know it better than that, can't you?
Random Uber
Today's reality check.
I know, right? Ching ching, go man.
Vincent can't even get this Uber fact out. He all sad. I'm sad too, Vincent. It's okay.
Let's just end this episode.
October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there's good news. Deaths from this disease continue to decline. Increased awareness and earlier detection through screening, such as annual mammograms, have resulted in improved management of the disease at its earliest and most treatable stages. If you're a woman over 40, schedule your annual mammogram today and keep the fight against breast cancer going. If you're a woman of any age and are at high risk for developing breast cancer, talk to your doctor about when you should start your screening mammograms and genetic and risk-reducing strategies, such as medications that can reduce your risk of developing breast cancer. Share this with your sisters, mothers, and daughters, who deserve to know too. For more information on breast cancer screening, visit radiologyinfo.org. This health reminder is from the Radiological Society of North America.
Every episode of the award-winning Vincent Tucker Radio Show is produced by Aaron Channel. Executively produced by Aaron Channel, Arkina Dansberg, Cornelius Johnson, and Vincent Heartbreak Tucker. Launched in December 2007, the VTRS is a CWC Entertainment Group LLC production.